Hey guys, I want to talk to you about some Woobies Mod 1s, but not these brand new ones. These. So, I'm a mechanic by trade, an automotive mechanic, and I've owned and worn these shoes for right about 11 months now. I've worn these every day for the past 11 months, 10 to 12 hours a day, for between 50 and 60 hours a week. Typically walk between 15 to 18,000 steps per day while I work. So I think I'm in a position to give a pretty decent review of them. I'm super pleased with the shoes overall. They're made of a very heavy canvas material. They did take a couple of days to break in and get my feet used to wearing them. Shoes have held up really well with the exception of one area. Right here where the toe cap meets the vamp of the shoe, I've worn through the canvas material, the top layer of the canvas material. You can actually see that lining inside the shoe. The toe cap itself has been very resilient. And I think this issue comes from when I'm kneeling down at work like this. This really heavy duty material in the toe cap is actually abraded away a good portion of that canvas. I also had the stitching begin to come loose on the outsole here in that same vicinity on the inside. And you can see here I just put some super glue in there, let that permeate the thread, and it stopped all unraveling of those threads. These shoes have been exposed to engine oil, transmission fluid, coolant, brake fluid, copious amounts of brake cleaner, battery terminal cleaner, commercial floor cleaners, and any other chemical you can think of that would be found in an automotive shop. And that may have contributed to some of the wear here. But that being said, these have held up better than a lot of automotive specific footwear that I've worn in the past. I have not cleaned these shoes one time in the past 11 months. And you can tell that on closer inspection. These are the original laces. These are not the original insoles. These are Superfeet green insoles. It's a fantastic insole if you have high arches or plantar fasciitis. I do recommend you look into those. For the first 8 months or so of ownership, I used the original insoles that these shoes came with. Which are these? There's nothing especially interesting about these insoles. My biggest dislike of them is that they are just like a plain rubber, whereas the Superfeet are lined with a fabric. My feet sweat, and they sweat a lot more with the plastic or rubber insoles that came with the shoes than they do with these lined insoles. My favorite aspect of the shoe is the outsole. So with all that wear over the past 11 months, I still have plenty of traction left on the shoe. And the only noticeable wear is this little bit right here where my heel strikes. I've been very pleased with these. For comparison, here's the new shoe. Regarding the outsoles, the slip resistance has been fantastic. These are the most slip resistant shoes I've ever worn professionally. I've been standing and moving in literal puddles of engine oil, transmission fluid, coolant, things like that. I never had any issues with slipping or loss of traction. The only time that I've had any kind of traction problems have been when standing in like brake rotor shavings, or when there's dust or dirt on a polished concrete surface at work. So If you're interested in a pair of shoes, and if you are interested especially in an American-made pair of shoes, I cannot recommend these highly enough. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Just plan for a couple of days of break-in, and you'll be set to pop. Appreciate you guys checking out this video. Let me know what you think, or if you've worn some of these down in the comments.